Yeah, hey YouTube. Now, I had a couple of concepts for this video. This is the second video I've made today. I'm making this directly after I made the other one. I don't do any editing or anything, I just film and upload. No editing. One of the concepts was a soldier. Concept of a soldier. I kind of consider myself a soldier. Perhaps in the army of Christ, perhaps as a one-man army or something. But after suffering, after experiencing suffering, people just don't have no awareness of what's out there, They honestly don't know the types of suffering that are out there. They live their lives for partying and drinking and drugs. And people just don't know the types of suffering that are out there, the wrath that they're storing up for themselves, As a soldier, I need some resources, and I'm very limited in my resources at the moment. I need to be able to get to a place where I can think, and I can solve problems and stuff, and I can attack problems. I mean, what makes me any different from anyone else out there? Well, the fact that I've suffered, and you're just unaware of the suffering that's out there. If you haven't suffered, you don't know what it's like long-term, continual, on the highest ranking, like a 10 out of 10 suffering, for 10 years. Triple 10 suffering. Triple 10 suffering. I suffered 10 out of 10 for 10 years, on the line every day. And it was massive. The suffering was massive. But yeah, like I was saying, I'm a soldier and I've got limited resources. No one sees my cause as worthy. No one thinks that the individual has the power, No one gives the individual the credit of having power. But there's some things I need. I need a house. That's my first thing I need is a house. I'm 38 years old. I might have 30, 40 years if I live to natural life expectancy, average life expectancy or whatever. 40 years. I don't think I'll make it to 78 though, maybe 60. So 22 years. I could make it to be older, you never know. But yeah, with my health, I'd probably not. The way my body is, my body's pretty beat up. But yeah, I need a house, and not just any house, like a decent house. And I need about an income. At the moment I earn $320 a week, New Zealand dollars. And because of my addictions, I've got a couple of addictions. I've got a cannabis addiction and a tobacco addiction. Because of my addictions, I don't eat very well. I spend most of my money on my addictions. So I need about double the income. I need a house and double the income. If I'm to do something in this world about the suffering that's out there, I need some resources. And having experienced the suffering, it gives me an advantage over others who haven't. Well, I wouldn't call it an advantage, but I'd call it gives me an insight into something they haven't experienced, and they're just totally, completely oblivious to this. They have no idea. they live in a total paradise, you know. They're inside, basically inside them is a total paradise. And they have no idea of the suffering that's out there. They just have no concept whatsoever. Yeah. It's hard to explain. But I believe I'm a worthy cause anyway. I believe I'm a worthy cause. For some donations and a house, donation of a house, some rich person buy me a house or something, or find a way to obtain a house, you know, and a higher income. A house would provide me with security. I wouldn't ever need to move again, and it would provide me with comfort. At the moment, I don't live in a very comfortable situation. I live in a garage. As you can see, down there's a huge gap under the door, and that just, you know, drafts just come in, wind just comes through that all day and all night. So I live basically outside. I live outside. Yeah, I really need a house and some resources, financial resources, you know, about double my income that I get at the moment. Without working, I need the time. I need to have as much free time as possible and have it easy as possible, you know. Never have to leave the house, sort of thing. Only for groceries once a week, maybe for takeaways, and that would be the only time I ever leave the house. And the rest of the time I've got hours and hours and days to just make videos and post my thoughts. I really need to get my thoughts out there because, you know, like a little bit of yeast goes through the whole bread and leavens the whole bread. Well, people need to know about the suffering that's out there. People in war zones, I guess, have some idea, and refugees and stuff. But they still live in a relative paradise. If your body's not suffering, if the influences are external, then, you know, you've got some capabilities to deal with them. But if the suffering's internal, then there's just sometimes it's a lot harder than having to deal with external influences, you know, external circumstances. I don't know. I just believe that my suffering was just that great that I'm destined for greatness or something, you know. My suffering was just that great. I reckon I would have set records, world records for suffering and stuff. I'm like a endurance athlete, you know. Nike should be sponsoring me. Nike. Now the key is to this. Now key is to this. Cars and money. I'm really asking for some money, I guess, YouTube community. I have an urgent, I'm a soldier, and I have a mission, I'm on a mission, and I need some funds to fight the war, you know. I don't want anyone else to go through the suffering that I went through, and if they are going through the suffering, then I want to comfort them, you know. I want to sort of say that there is an end you know, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and also, there'd be ways of perhaps teaching them to heal and stuff, because I believe what my suffering was, I believe it was the the discs in my neck or my spinal cord or something. So, but I couldn't heal it. Like, I thought it was, the pain was so just there. I thought it was in my brain or something. Like, the whole time, for the whole 10 years or whatever, it was like it was in my brain, but it was actually my neck. So pain doesn't give you like a detailed analysis of what's actually wrong, you know. It just sort of screams out at you and says, hey, something's wrong, you should fix this. But they don't really teach you how to heal. I think we actually have to manually heal ourselves. You know, we can't just sort of like set it and forget, you know. You've actually got to put the effort into healing yourself. You've got to sort of put thoughts towards it and stuff. I don't know how to heal, but it's more than just, if you break a bone or hurt your spine or something, then you've got to put thoughts into it. You've got to sort of put life into the areas that are broken. Oh. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just believe I'm important. I believe I'm important to this world. I believe I've got something to say to the world, you know, and that my speech is going to overflow with something because of my suffering, you know. My suffering will have created in me like an endurance. There's a scripture saying, let endurance have its full effect. Well, I've got like an endurance, I'm like a high-end athlete after my suffering. Really high-end athlete, Olympic athlete or something. That was how great my suffering was, you know. To not commit suicide or something like that from the suffering, that was hard enough. Anyway, I healed. Now I'm just really stupid. I'm not suffering anymore, but now I'm just really stupid. I don't have much of a mind to be able to interact with, to think very well, and my mind's kind of damaged. But yeah, I believe I can achieve something. I believe I can help the world if you'll support me. I believe I can help the world. I just need the support, you know. I just need a house and the gear that comes with a house, like a gym. I really need a gym so I can start working out, like an exercise machine and a treadmill and some weights, I don't know, some gym equipment so I can start working out, and food to go with the gym equipment, like lots of food so I can put on some weight and build up my bones and stuff. All just resources like food, shelter, clothing, internet. I've got internet at the moment. That's how I'm uploading the videos. I've actually got a fibre connection. I pay for that myself. But yeah, my garage isn't very comfortable. It's not very. I'm unable to sleep like long periods of time without waking up. I'm always waking up in the middle of the night and stuff, and I can't sleep during the day. I'd love to be able to tint the windows if I could afford to buy some tint, so that I can, or just have my bedroom darked out, like get more sunshine. I really want more sunshine in my life. All my houses that I've lived in, though, I've always had the light bulb on during the day. So I've always lived under a light bulb. I really want to sort of get a house where I can actually enjoy the sunshine, especially in summer, but even in winter. I can, so yeah, just a house that has all day sunshine sort of thing, but the bedroom has tinted windows so that the bedroom's nice and dark, so if I need to sleep during the day, I can sleep during the day. And what I'm sort of thinking is that, rather, at the moment I do sort of 10 hours sleeping, 14 hours up. What I'd be thinking is that if I had my own house and I had all the drugs, all the marijuana, I don't really like calling them drugs, but if I had all the marijuana I could smoke and all the tobacco I could smoke, and I didn't need to leave the house, then I'd be able to do sort of 20, 25 hour days and then sleep, say 10, 12 hours or something. So I'd be able to stay up long periods of time. So, and get lots of work done in that time. I need things like cameras, like for YouTube. This camera is quite low budget. It's only like, it's more of a photo camera than a video camera. But it's still pretty cool. But for what I paid for it, you know, it's done me really well. But yeah, I could definitely use like a Hero GoPro or something. That'd be quite cool. A new cell phone. I don't know, little bits and pieces. I really want like I guess, yeah, food would be one of my top priorities if I could get lots of food. Because that helps, I'm still healing from my suffering, you know, it's been like 18 years, right? But I'm still healing. I've still got this injury in my neck. My neck cracks really badly. And I exercise it and it gets better, but yeah, I haven't got the food. Every time I eat food, if I eat enough food, I get like a pump on in my neck. It's sort of like, you know, like it pumps food to my neck or something. And I get some sort of sense, some feelings like it's sort of like half the cartilage is missing and stuff. Some feelings like that. Because no, I won't go into how it happened, but because it's kind of dodgy. Oh, okay, I'll tell you my belief. I'll tell you what I know. I was attacked by like a sound weapon or something, a weapon that goes through walls, and they covered it up by saying I was a cannabis addict and the cannabis did it. They reckon that the cannabis gave me schizophrenia. But no, I was attacked by a weapon. I was attacked by the government of New Zealand or America or something. One government, government of New Zealand with American technology. But no one believes that. But they should believe that I've suffered. No one should doubt my suffering. You shouldn't doubt my suffering. If you could understand my suffering, I'd have a house, bam, just like that, you know. If people knew about my suffering, if they could comprehend it, if it could be measured or whatever, people would just, you know, they'd just give me a house so quick. There must be a kind rich man out there somewhere who's got the ability to give me a house, you know, and perhaps help my income. There's my September 11th story that you can find out about through these YouTube pages of mine, or visiting my website, my September 11th story, www.darcylee.com, DARCYLEE.com. This is my second video for the day. Both are about 20 minutes. I haven't actually said much though. Yeah. These are going to be like a series of begging videos, I guess. Just as trying to make money for a house, you know, trying to get someone to buy me a house maybe. Just so I can have the comfort, have the ability to sort of perhaps alleviate some suffering in the world and introduce people to it. People don't understand suffering. If they understood suffering, then there'd be a way more sort of concentrated effort to try and sort of eliminate it, you know. I've turned to the Bible, but the Bible hasn't really helped me. It's only made it worse, you know, because it's so frustrating and it just doesn't ring true in so many areas, and Christians, the way they behave, oh my God. They're so high and mighty, most of them. There are a few nice ones, of course, but most of them I would say aren't saved. The way they behave. Yeah, this video's nearly finished. Nearly finished. So yep, I'm a soldier and I'm on the front lines and I'm lacking resources. I'm kind of like a medic, I guess, or a doctor or something on the front lines. I just need to, I guess awareness is one thing, but also prevention and awareness and dealing with the fact afterwards as well. I couldn't get any painkillers because they thought I had drug-seeking behaviour, you know, and I couldn't sort of explain to them that I was in pain. It was so hard to explain, hey, I'm actually in pain, you know, I'm suffering so bad that I need some real legit painkillers. I've got a real legit reason for some painkillers, you know. They just wouldn't give them to me. They'd prescribe Panadol and things like that, you know, and Panadol did nothing. Paracetamol did nothing. I needed something much stronger. But I probably, if I had taken painkillers, I probably just would have got addicted to them. So I'd be a even worse drug addict right now. I mean, tobacco and cannabis isn't such a bad addiction, is it? It's totally legal in America.